Hi, everybody. It's David. It's Friday morning, about a little after 10 here in Melbourne. I know it's about 7:10 in the evening, Thursday evening back home. Yesterday was a big day of sightseeing in the city, taking the train in to the city, and then a lot of walking, but also riding the city public transportation, which in Melbourne is the tram, um, which get you everywhere, and saw the state um, library, beautiful facility. I would have, as a library rat as a kid, it was really neat. I would have spent a lot of time in that library. There were a lot of students in that area uh, studying and doing research. The state library downtown, as most of the things that we saw downtown, are all kind of together. Um, and the universities here, from what I understand, are not like at home. For instance, they don't have university sports like uh, like we do. Football season started for me yesterday with the AFL game. I'll get to that in a bit. But in 4 weeks, in a month from yesterday, KU has their first football game. So, um, but they don't have anything like that here. And so uh, we saw that, the uh, Melbourne Museum, and Federation Square, which is across the street from the railroad station we saw the first day. The architecture here, like I said, is this Melbourne and this area was uh, really started with the gold rush, and so uh, the architecture is on the older buildings and the churches is you know was um, kind of 1900s Victorian Edwardian type look. Um, and then like Federation Square, and I'll post the pictures here on Facebook in a bit. Uh, is is a combination. Federation Square is very modern, but it's like their city square where they have a lot of public events and things and activities. Um, I really like Melbourne. It reminds me of, it's like a combination of Kansas City and Lawrence. It's the population's young, and being by the library and in that university section of town where there are different universities, but they're in like office buildings and the like. But uh, the entrance to the museum, the yard and the steps, it was like Wesco Beach at KU. There were people all milling around, sitting, talking. There was a girl and a very pretty Japanese dress singing, and they have singers who come and sing there for entertainment, and the young people sitting around, and older ones too, but people talking, laughing, messing around, having a good time. It reminded me a lot of Wesco Beach when I was in school in KU, and that's what I mean by that college vibe. And yesterday's weather was beautiful. Um, those of you who, all my friends on Facebook who went to KU, if you're watching this, when I did, you remember those beautiful November fall days where the sun's out, there's no wind, the temperature was mild in the mid or upper 50s, and the um, the evening fall light with the sun, and campus was beautiful in Lawrence at that time, and that's the way it was here yesterday, and it was just so much kind of taking me back to that feeling when I was in school, in that that fall feel and weather, and where everybody's just kind of happy, having a nice time. Now, don't get me wrong. Melbourne has the businessmen, and going up and down and things like and and a typical city. Um, but it, it it had that feeling that took me back to when I was in college and Kansas City and Lawrence, and so I really like it. I think it is taking the on the list of big cities I've been to. It is taking the top spot right now from Chicago, uh, which is the big city that I've been to. Do I like the least? Washington D.C. And it's not big. Well, the Washington the monuments and the like are really nice, but it's 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 a government city. People are, they're uh, they're government workers, and so in Washington, they're um, they're they're focused on that, and so they feel very busy and the like. I don't want to get involved in like, oh, it's the swamp and stuff. That's not what I'm getting at. I forget that stuff. Okay, um, as Washington D.C. Uh, and people are very friendly here. What's my second favorite? Chicago. What would be third? Philadelphia, believe it or not. Um, but anyway, uh, so what else? Then we met everybody at the train station as they were coming in, and we went to the football game. I posted those videos yesterday. Um, it was fun. It was a fun time. Uh, would I compare it to American football? No, they're two different games. Um, um, but it was fun. The crowd gets into it. It's different than back in the states. If you've been to an NFL game or even college games now, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if a lot of people back home they spend more time going and getting a $12 beer and seeing how many they can down at a game than actually watching the game. Um, there were no uh, beer guys coming up and down the aisles selling beer. People weren't constantly getting up and going to the going to the concession stand and buying, like I said, $12 beers. There just wasn't that vibe. They were there and they watched the game. Um, I'll post a picture. Uh, Andrew, uh, David and Fiona's other son. It was great to see him. He joined us for the game. Um, he 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 was the one who went down and got to the concession stand at halftime and brought back what they call their famous meat pie. And I'll post a picture of that. It's a beef meat pie. It's just beef and gravy, and it looks like a little Swanson pot pie. Okay, yeah, back home. But there's no vegetables in it. It's just beef in a brown gravy in a pie shell, and it comes in a cellophane wrapper, but it's warm. And for them at the game, it's like eating a hot dog at a game back home at a football game or a baseball game. And it tasted like, oh, before I get that, their ketchup, it's a little different tasting in here, but it comes in a little package, and instead of opening the package like we do at home and dipping uh, our stuff into ketchup, it has a little the slit in the middle of the package, and you squeeze the package, and that slit breaks, and then you can spread the ketchup on whatever you've got, like putting it out of a little squeeze bottle. It's really kind of cool. Um, and so you put a little bit on the pie, and you take a bite, and they laughed because to me it reminded me of meatloaf back home. With a classic meatloaf. You have a ketchup topping on it. When you bake it, um, and it was good. Just tasted like roast beef in gravy. Um, and I'm not sure what they expected me to react to it, but it was fine. It was good. Their French fries were, well, they don't call them French fries; they call them chips here. and they were good. But I think they still use real. I still I think they still use real lard to fry them in, because if those of you who are my age, you remember when things were made with or fried in lard, and sometimes you get that little film at the top of your mouth after you eat it. That's what you had after uh, yeah, eating the chips and stuff. So I think that rather than in some kind of canola oil or whatever they use back home, they still use the good old fashioned lard, good old fashioned fat to fry theirs in. But anyway, um, I think I posted yesterday for breakfast that we made toast before we left. Tried the Vegemite. Wasn't bad. They said the mistake people make, like Americans, when they try it, is they spread it on thick like we do peanut butter on toast back home, and that's not what you do. You just put, as Fiona calls it, a little smear of it on, and eat it that way. It was okay. It was okay. Um, anyway, the game got out about 10:30 last night. Took the tram to the Southern Cross Railway Station. Caught the train, and then it was delayed just for a bit because they had some problems closing the doors from the next to last stop. So we didn't get back here till almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was a long day, but a fun day. Really enjoyed it. So today we're just kind of hanging out and relaxing. And so uh, the odd observation of the day, and I learned this coming off the plane, and I've had to be mindful of it. You know how they drive on the left side of the road? Well, everything's on the left here. Everything is opposite back home. You know how when you're walking down the sidewalk, we walk on the right side, and you want to move over, and if you're a slower walker, you get as far right as you can, and people pass to your left. Well, here you walk on the left side of the sidewalk, and people pass you on the right. Um, Everything my sister would love it. She's left-handed. Everything is based on the right, or on the left side. Um, I bought a sweatshirt with the team, Carlton Football Club Blues, Carlton Blues, and I went to zip it up, and the zipper fastener was on the left. And I thought, did I get a lemon here? Is there, uh, uh, did they make a mistake? Is the zipper broken? Did it come off? And I asked them about it, and they laughed that, nope, there's zipper fasteners on the left side of the zipper. Everything's to the left here. Um, so that's my interesting fact. I learned the walking on the left as soon as I got off the plane, because I was on the right, and there was this there were these people that were rushing. They were having to go back. I think they left something on the plane, and they were on the right side, and I could see they weren't moving. I thought, you better move to the left. And then I looked as we were coming down the gangplank from the plane, and yep, everybody was on the left side going out of the plane. And I thought, okay, so I learned it right away. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. So anyway, that's my thoughts for today. It was a good day today. It's just kind of relaxing and taking it easy. And then tomorrow will be my last day, and then I fly home. So I hope everybody's taking care back home and doing well. And I will talk to you later. Bye.